You're watching the Isaiah Factor Uncensored.
Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of The Factor Uncensored. There's only 22 days left in the Texas special legislative session, and the battle over redrawing Texas districts on maps is reaching a boiling point. Our next guest shares an update from the Texas Capitol. And joining us now on Factor Uncensored, we have with us Representative Ron Reynolds, who is in Austin working on the special session of the legislature. I think the hearings have ended when it comes to redistricting. Where do we stand, Representative Reynolds?
Isaiah, it's great to be here with you. So after the last, what we call field hearing was had, the next thing is for us to finally see the damn maps. We haven't seen what these lines are going to look like. We anticipate that's going to be coming out within the next 24 hours. And then from there, there's a vote from the Redistricting Committee. Assuming the vote passes, which it likely will, in all transparency on a straight party line vote, then the bill will hit the floor of the House of Representatives for full debate. And then whether or not we voted up or down, and then it goes over to the Senate, and assuming it passes there, it goes to Governor Abbott's desk. So now that the hearings are over with, the next thing for us to do is to see what does the map look like, and then we can really have a debate about what the future of Congress looks like in the state of Texas.
This is a case where you're putting the cart before the horse, and you guys are moving like at a tremendous speed to get this done. And most voters, residents in Texas, don't know what they're going to see when it comes to these new maps that they're drawing. What's worst case scenario for those who are waiting and watching to see what comes from the Republicans on this?
Well, Isaiah, you're right. I'm going to be frank with you. This is ass backwards. This is putting the cart before the horse. We had these hearings where people were testifying on something that they knew. We don't know what the maps look like. This is not a transparent way to do things. So this is not regular order. This is not regular order to do a mid-decade redistricting. So the people are going to be surprised when they see these maps, because the people would not get a chance to come back and say, hey, we don't like this, and weigh in on it, because they had the hearings before the maps came out. So this is really very disingenuous. This is not the way that we do things in an open and transparent way to do government, but this is their way to hide, to cheat, to manipulate and steal so that they can pass these maps that came down from Washington, D.C. These maps were not drawn in Austin or the state of Texas. They were drawn in D.C. from President Trump and his cohorts to maximize 5 Republican seats at the expense of black and brown seats. This is racial gerrymandering. I don't know any other way to describe it. Black and brown communities are going to be disenfranchised. Isaiah, what we're likely to see is the historic 18th congressional district that was once held by the late Barbara Jordan, and then Mickey Leland, and then Craig Washington, Sylvester Turner, Sheila Jackson Lee. We're likely to see this become a Republican seat. We're likely to see this become a seat, from what I'm hearing of people who are speculating, that the 18th congressional district, instead of being just 5th Ward, Acres Home, 3rd Ward, and areas like South Park and African American traditional areas, will go rural. It'll go into those areas and then go rural all the way into maybe Brazoria County, so that they can redraw the line to elect a Republican. So the communities of interest, communities of color, won't have representation to represent their interests. I believe, and I'm not just being emphatic about this, it's shameful that our people who fought for this seat, they'll be turning over in their graves to see what's going to happen to the 18th congressional district. You mark my words, that map is going to look like a jigsaw puzzle. It won't be compact with communities of interest. It'll be broken up in fragments so that they can elect a Republican. That's all they want to do, is to maintain control of power. And they're not letting the electorate choose the congressional. They're letting the congressional choose who they want to represent. And
now, we know, Representative Reynolds, that this was a mandate from the president, President Trump. How willing, how anxious was the governor to do this?
Well, we don't know, because he didn't put up a fight. Governor Abbott just did President Trump sent a letter to Governor Abbott. Next thing, Governor Abbott sent a notice to the members of the legislature that he's adding redistricting to the call of the special session. So instead of focusing on recovery efforts for the people impacted by the flooding, the deadly flooding in Kerr County, we've been focused mostly this whole special session on redistricting. Nothing else, Isaiah. I want to be honest with you. We've been in special session for 2 weeks now, and the only thing that is being discussed is redistricting and maybe a word or two about Kerr County. So I don't like it. It doesn't pass the smell test, and people should be outraged that instead of focus on relief efforts, we're focused on racial gerrymandering to disenfranchise communities of color.